So a very warm good morning or good afternoon, depending upon the time zone you are in. A very warm welcome to Enalito's Growth Trajectory Summit 2021. And we are lucky to have Eric Fransen, CEO of Grund America, with us today. And we are going to have a very, very exciting conversation. And then for the next 45, 60 minutes with Eric, where we are going to learn a lot from him as an entrepreneur, how he has built his brand and some of the ups and downs that he has faced while building the business, and what he as an entrepreneur, what are his views, what are his perspectives uh, while building a brand or scaling up a brand, or how to uh, find your way during turbulent times to make sure that the business is constantly running. So a lot more. So without further ado, let me quickly have a formal introduction for Eric. Eric is the founder and CEO of Grund America. He is also the founder of Click, a sport marketing agency, and NASCAR team driver marketing. And Eric has 15 years of experience in the field of digital marketing, planning, strategic uh, planning, and building digital marketing campaign that align with the customer life cycle across multiple channel. His brand Grund America was created in 2014 on the foundation of the Grund family's entrepreneurial success in the country of Czech Republic. The Grund America brand launched in the States with high quality bathroom rugs, and since then they have been working very, very hard to provide customers with clean, natural products that are soft, durable, and environmentally friendly. And the unique thing about their brand that is that the cotton that they used in their rugs and towels is certified organic and sustainable with reusable materials containing no dye chemicals, which is excellent. I must say, keeping in mind that the world we are living in, we have to move more towards sustainability, and that's what Eric brand stands for. Eric, so glad to have you, and thank you so much for taking out time today.
No, thank you. I really appreciate it. Excited to really be able to share our brand, Grunt,
Wonderful.
with your audience. So thank you so much.
Wonderful. Eric, my first question to you is your brand, and how did you like started? Like, what is the purpose of your brand? Definitely, I touched a little bit in the introduction, but if you can elaborate a little bit, that would be great.
Yeah, well, let me take you back before I was part of the brand. So, um, Grunt is now our company is Grund America or Grund America, and we were founded in 2014 by one of the founders or the CEO of Grund, which is a Czech company that's been around for 30 years. So Grund has been around for 30 years in Europe, one of the largest bath rug manufacturers there is. Yuri Grund, the CEO, wanted to come to the largest marketplace in the world, the United States of America, and
Mm-hmm.
came over in 2014,
Yeah.
long before I was involved. So
Mm-hmm.
they brought their European style rugs here to the US, and they realized after about 3 years that Americans don't like color in the bathroom. They
Mm-hmm.
like solids,
Mm-hmm.
blues, whites, browns, greens.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole company at that point went into a rebranding mode,
Mm-hmm.
and one of Yuri's passions is sustainability.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole company changed here in America in around 2017 to be sustainable. Um, at that point, the company was a wholesale big box company.
Mm-hmm.
Macy's, Belk, uh, Bed Bath and Beyond, those kind of marketplaces where you can find the grunt rug.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but in the late 2000s, there's been challenges with big boxes going bankrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Shelf space. You bring a good product into Bed Bath and Beyond, they're
Mm-hmm.
going to copy it, and
Yeah.
then they're gonna manufacture themselves
Yeah.
overseas. And so in 2019, Yuri and I had a mutual friend,
Mm-hmm.
and they came to me and said, Eric, we know you've been in digital marketing for 20 years. We have this brand. and we want to change it from a wholesale-based brand
Mm-hmm.
to a direct-to-consumer.
Oh,
In 2019, DTC, direct-to-consumer, is hot.
yeah.
Everyone's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so when Yuri saw this, he felt like that was the opportunity to take the brand forward.
Wow.
And as being an entrepreneur, but also being a have worked with hundreds of businesses on the digital marketing front, to
Mm-hmm.
have the opportunity to run my own brand
Mm-hmm.
with partners,
Mm-hmm.
something I was really interested in. So
Wow.
mid 2019,
Mm-hmm.
my business partner and I,
Mm-hmm.
we uh, we actually acquired half of the Grund America.
Mm-hmm.
I became the CEO, and we started from day one on
Mm-hmm.
transitioning from a wholesale company to a
Mm-hmm.
direct to consumer company. And
Wow.
as we all know, about 6 months into it, we
Mm-hmm.
had this thing called the pandemic hit the world,
Yeah.
which changed all our plans. But I can get into that here in a little bit. But that's how it started, and so today we're a direct to consumer brand, and we have some other channels that I'll speak on, but
Mm-hmm.
that's where we are today.
Wow, that's excellent. So that's a great, I must say, like you have a solid foundation and you are taking it forward to the fullest, and more power to you. And it's amazing that how brands have to evolve or pivot and make changes, basically the strategy that they have to adapt over the years in order ultimately to help the consumers that they want to touch. And I think the products that you have ultimately are going to have importance in consumers' lives. So, how do you, when you kind of brought your brand to US and definitely from wholesale to all this direct to consumer transition, it's definitely a big transition. So, how did you create it that early adoption, or what are some of the strategies that you adopted in order to acquire your early customers?
Yeah, that's and that you said it right, acquiring customers, and that was actually really a struggle at first, because me coming in, my assumption was, well, they've been in business for 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
we have a customer base,
Mm-hmm.
and we really didn't. So we really have spent the last year and a half building up our customer base, and how do you do it? You spend money.
Mm-hmm.
You run Google ads and Facebook ads and obviously Instagram, and all these things to get in front of buyers that have whether it's demographics or interests or affinity metrics that
Mm-hmm.
would be a good fit for our brand. So we invest heavily in paid advertising.
Uh-huh.
We invest heavily into organic search. Just think about content development from
Mm-hmm.
either the written word or video or photography.
Yeah.
All of that has a cost,
Mm-hmm.
and we have shifted our spend over the last year and a half
Mm-hmm.
as we've seen certain channels get more
Mm-hmm.
expensive and
Yeah.
other channels look like they're more affordable.
Mm-hmm.
So it never stays the same. It's
Yeah.
always changing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you take your eye off the ball or take your eye off Google Analytics and um, whatever analytics software you use,
Yeah.
you're gonna get behind. You need to be on top of it on a
Yeah.
on a daily basis.
Wonderful. That's amazing. That's an excellent answer. Yeah. So early adoption, definitely, I think, which requires a lot of, you can divide your marketing between organic versus inorganic growth, but definitely that inorganic growth in the beginning can help you in getting that traction in the beginning. Excellent point there. So Eric, my next question for you is around consumers, basically. The time that we are living in, there's so much of competition, and definitely we have to make like whenever a product or a service gets built, creating that brand awareness, definitely the top of the funnel, and then the bottom conversion funnel is a long road. And so how do you kind of convert your visitors into buyers? Definitely with organic paid ads and everything, we are able to drive a great amount of traffic to the brand side. But what are some of the things that you have done so far, or according to you, have really work wonders. I mean, which are able to kind of convert your visitors into your at least first time buyers.
Yeah, great question. So at the onset, we really invested in the Facebook ads.
Hmm.
And we were looking at from a cold traffic standpoint.
Right.
Cold traffic being, someone doesn't know who our brand is,
Yeah.
and quite frankly, that ended up being a tough conversion for us. And the
Hmm.
reason it was is people that are scrolling through their Facebook feed, our number one product is bath rugs. So let me take a step back. So
Yeah.
we're in the bed and bath textile
Yeah.
industry. So we have bath rugs, bath towels,
Hmm.
bathrobes,
Yeah.
and then we have bed sheets and we have throw blankets.
Yeah.
Amazing quality product, 100% organic cotton, luxury, type feel. So
Yeah.
it's a really great product.
Hmm.
But if you scroll through Facebook and it's tough to grab someone's attention with bath rugs.
Yeah.
Maybe we haven't done a good enough job at figuring that out yet.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, that's our number one product.
Yeah.
That's 80% of our sales.
Hmm.
So that's our driver. So we shifted that cold traffic on Facebook ads, and we moved a lot of the spin to
Mm.
Google ads.
Okay.
Once we started hitting the ROI with Google ads, we started with
Hmm.
Bing ads, and we've
Hmm.
seen the same return. So
Wonderful.
kind of the process is we try to acquire that initial view from Google ads. A lot of times
Hmm.
Google shopping
Hmm.
because someone's in the market for a product we have to sell.
Hmm.
So they come to our site, and we all know most e-commerce sites after
Yeah.
3 to 10 seconds, this thing pops up, and they're going to give you an offer, 15% off,
Yeah.
give you your name and email,
Hmm.
and we do that because it works.
Hmm.
So we get people into our email flow, and then what we do is after someone's come in from Google on the search, we then retarget using Facebook and Instagram. And
Hmm.
now we can ROI it. The cost from a Google ad to a retarget on Facebook to a sale,
Hmm.
we'll spend that money all day long.
Hmm.
That works. And then we follow up with email marketing as well. So people are
Hmm.
are, getting us multiple platforms. Recently, we've introduced a little texting. We're
Hmm.
starting to text a little bit to our customers,
Yeah.
maybe twice a month. Very
Hmm.
new.
Hmm.
Uh, but so we're experimenting. TikTok's coming pretty quick for us.
Wow.
We've seen some results in some of our tests, so very excited to see that channel. And to give you an idea, Instagram, you might pay 80 cents per click,
Hmm.
$83 if it's not a good ad.
Hmm.
TikTok, sometimes 4 or 5 cents a click.
Hmm.
So, and that's what you do as someone in digital or direct to consumer. You
Yeah.
take your ad dollars and what's most affordable, what gives you
Hmm.
the most bang for the buck, and you
Yeah.
need to move it to these new platforms. There was
Hmm.
a time where Google Ads was 5 cents a click.
Right.
Well, today, a lot of times I'm happy with $1.50 click, and because it pays off. So you need
Wow.
to know your numbers and all your various channels and your platforms that drive traffic. And if
Hmm.
you have someone that can move that around, you can be successful.
Wow. Excellent. So I must say, you're truly like omni-channel, I can say, and you have built a 360-degree presence to be in front of your consumers. I mean,
Yeah,
definitely, I think once your marketing team might have defined the buyer persona that you want to engage with or target with, and you already are there on all the channels. Wow, that's an excellent thought, and I think it's all a matter of consistently doing it, and the results will obviously come because I think these are like constantly experimental things and a lot of A/B testing involved, and the marketing messaging constantly has to evolve in order to kind of hit the or strike the chord with the potential audience. So wow, that's amazing. I'm so happy that you already covered Facebook, Google ad, Instagram, Bing, and in like uh, all the social channels have a tremendous impact because I think as a normal consumers we are kind of constantly exploring new things. And I think when something comes in front of us and when it is presented across all channels, the brand recall definitely have a great impact on the conversion. So excellent point. And having said that, Eric, I would like to know, like, how is your ROAS? I mean, definitely every Google versus Facebook, definitely a different ROAS
Yeah.
might be
So
there.
let me actually step back, and then I'll come back and answer our return on ad spend.
Yeah.
So as you spoke on the omni channel, I did want to say something.
Hmm.
Um, so we have a luxury product.
Yeah.
Um, it feels real nice, and so one of the challenges is somebody can go on Amazon or go on Target or walk into Target
Hmm.
and buy a product that looks almost the same,
Hmm.
where they might sell it for 19.95.
Hmm.
On our website, we're going to sell for roughly $80.
Hmm.
And so we have had some difficulty translating that, the quality. One of our taglines is feel the organic difference.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, how can you feel the organic difference through a computer screen? It's
Hmm.
difficult.
True.
So last February, so
Hmm.
about 14 months ago, we had made the decision
Hmm.
that we felt boutique retailers,
Uh-huh.
smaller companies that have 1 to 5 locations that
Hmm.
deal with luxury bed and bath would be a great place for us to be,
Yeah.
spread out through America. And the
Hmm.
reason was we wanted somebody that found us online, felt they thought they would love our product, but were hesitant to make that initial purchase,
Hmm.
to drive down the street,
Hmm.
walk into a nice bed and bath store,
Yeah.
and feel and touch our product, and
Hmm.
either buy it there or come back and buy it from us.
Uh-huh.
Because it is, until you touch, you really don't really understand the difference.
You're right. Yeah.
So that started in February. We had a great launch, and
Hmm.
then mid-March, all the retail stores closed down. So we
Hmm.
had to put that on pause. So
Uh-huh.
just earlier this month, we actually
Hmm.
started moving to go back into boutique retailers.
Uh-huh.
So so when you talk about omni-channel, that's exactly what we want to do. We
Hmm.
want people to be able to buy not just online, but also in stores.
Wonderful, wonderful. Great.
But as far as your question on ROAS, return on ad spend, where we are today, cold traffic for us, Google Ads is definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
We get conversions on first click or new visitors.
Hmm.
So we're right around $35 on return on ad spend on Google, which is great. Our
Hmm.
average order is $120 per sale.
Hmm.
So definitely we could spend more and still be successful.
Wow.
Um, Facebook ads, we don't right now, we're not doing any cold traffic. Everything we're doing is remarketing.
Hmm.
And we're getting 16, 17, $18, um, well, not return on ads, but per sale. So
Hmm.
for that. So definitely everything we do online, at least in those channels, has been
Hmm.
successful. And it's
Hmm.
just a matter of, you keep on pumping the
Yeah.
uh, channels with more money. If you put $1 in and $5 comes out, you
Yeah.
want to put a lot more $1 bills in there.
Yeah. That's excellent. Excellent. I mean, yeah, so it's a very thoughtful strategy, I must say. And I think having that offline presence definitely has its own set of advantages, and it gives the confidence to your first time buyers that, okay, that's the difference that they cannot notice in the online world ultimately. And I think once someone has experienced it and once they have bought it, they become the ambassadors. So the follow-up question for this is definitely once someone has bought from you, I mean, acquiring a customer is extremely difficult um, thing in today's world with the competition that we have or the products that you have. So, how do you retain your customers? How do you how is your retention rate so far? Or what are some of the retention strategies that you adopt over the years in order to make sure that you have the highest retention rate?
Yeah, great question. So obviously, email marketing,
Hmm.
that's something that everybody's doing, and um, we do that. One of our um, one of the things we have, if I was to have if we were to have a negative,
Hmm.
is we we've had a standard product
Mm-hmm.
for the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
We have our 5 categories, but we haven't introduced a new product
Mm-hmm.
within
Mm-hmm.
colors, things like that.
Uh-huh.
So we need to be creative with our current customer base, our previous customers. And so what we've been able to do, and in fact, just last week, somebody came through and ordered, and I noticed it was the 8th time they've ordered from us.
Wow.
No, that's not too bad. So start with bath rugs, and then they like the bath rugs. Now you need matching bath towels, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you get your bath towels, you like them, and then you think, I need some new bed sheets, and I'm happy with Grund. So now you order bed sheets,
Mm-hmm.
and then they moved on to a bathrobe, and
Mm-hmm.
then a throw blanket, but before you know it, they'd ordered from us 8 different times.
Wow. Wow.
So for us, it's to continue with the messaging of sustainability, being eco-friendly.
Mm-hmm.
We last week we participated on Earth Day. We actually participated in Earth Week. We've extended some activities with some partners, and
Mm-hmm.
we're able to help spread the message. Donate 5% of revenues to an organization that we believe in.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the type of things that we're going to continue to do.
Uh-huh.
And for example, the next thing we're actually doing is so this is like breaking news. We
Mm-hmm.
haven't announced this yet, but we're in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, but
Mm-hmm.
we're in talks with a few different recycling companies
Uh-huh.
where we're going to be able to bring our 100% organic cotton products that were shipped back to us from customers
Mm-hmm.
or a discount, right? They ship it back, and now they're going to get a special discount when they buy the next set of products from us.
Mm-hmm.
We're then going to take those older products,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to recycle them with a local company that
Mm-hmm.
deals with that. So that's next up, and it's something we've been planning here for probably a month.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting close to pulling the trigger. It'll probably be after our Mother's Day promotions, but
Wow.
it's coming quick. So those kind of things just help us stay connected with our customers. In fact, we ask people to live Grund. Hashtag live Grund.
Wow.
Be part of the Grund family.
Uh-huh.
So I try to send a kind of a personal email once a month to
Mm-hmm.
our base. I
Yeah.
share with them what's going on in the Grund world,
Uh-huh.
what's new, who we've been supporting, and really what's coming up next. So,
Wow.
and as a small direct to consumer,
Mm-hmm.
you need to do that. Uh,
That's good.
you need to make them the customer base and people who are
Mm-hmm.
thinking about customers.
Yeah. That's great, Eric, I must say. And as you said it rightly, as a brand, I think uh, you have a huge responsibility and a role to play. And no matter the small initiative that you have taken is gonna be helping the brand in the long run. Just like how brands like Patagonia or others are being admired for what they are doing, and ultimately the whole consumer education or the awareness that's happening in today's era with access to information. Nowadays, we have often observed that people are buying products from brands which are putting in efforts, who are socially responsible or who are taking that step towards sustainability, no matter how small that is. And people appreciate that. So, what you just mentioned, wow, I think more power to you. And if it continues to happen, maybe you might be the next big thing over the years. Excellent. I really like that because the way things are happening or the way things are moving, that yes, consumers want to buy more, but consumers are also understanding their responsibility towards sustainable buying, or what they are buying, or the products where they are getting manufactured, or the quality of products that they're buying. So all these things, these are all extremely important things. Often they are being overlooked or being not talked about, but I think now, as you said it rightly, as a leader of the organization, you're taking that initiative, which is extremely commendable. And I think your team, who is also thinking in that direction, so amazing. Moving on, my next question to you is, uh, for a brand to become big, definitely it's a long journey, it's a marathon that we are running. And so you definitely need to set up milestones. So let's say from wholesale, you made this transition to D2C brand, and now you definitely are going to like have a complete a decade in the business, and then the next decade. So have you set some milestones for your brand that, okay, by 2025, we would like to reach this milestone, and then 2030, this milestone? Anything in particular? I mean, just a thought.
I think I really appreciate that question. Because as an eco-friendly, sustainable brand, right now, we actually manufacture our products overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we manufacture products in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
in India,
Mm-hmm.
and the struggle with that is, I mean, to be able to be in business and to allow us to have affordable luxury products,
Yeah.
we need to do that today. But if we're truly going to be sustainable and
Mm-hmm.
eco-friendly, we need to eliminate that transfer of product from really across the sea.
Mm-hmm.
We need to eliminate that shipment across the Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have a milestone. Our next milestone is I can't say the dollar amount, but when we get there, and it's a reasonable that we'd be there in 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to build a factory here in
Mm-hmm.
the U.S. So our goal, and it's been our goal from day one, is to manufacture our products here in the Carolinas,
Mm-hmm.
the former textile capital of the world, really, as far as manufacturing products, soft textiles. And we
Mm-hmm.
want to go to an old factory and refurbish it, bring it back to life,
Mm-hmm.
and bring jobs back to a community that was decimated 15 to 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've had conversations with North and South Carolina, the economic uh, division departments.
Mm-hmm.
So we know what they need, they know what we need, and when we get there from a revenue standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to have support and the
Wow.
knowledge because our founder, they have right now they have 180 person manufacturing plants in the
Mm-hmm.
Czech Republic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all there. We just need to build the brand, make it bigger, build our
Mm-hmm.
customer base,
Uh-huh.
and we'll be able to really make an economic impact
Mm-hmm.
for the state of North Carolina.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. That's a great uh, strategy in order to grow the business and to make your products more sustainable in the long run. Excellent. Eric, my next question would be around brand building. Definitely, it's a vast topic, I can say. And once you have established your product line and like you have your brand name, everything sorted out, how do you make a space in the consumer's mind? Extremely difficult in today's time, no matter, I mean, all the channels. But what are some of the things that you, as a leader and your marketing team, think about in order to convey that with simplicity to the consumers? Because we are living in time where the attention span of consumers is becoming less and less because we have access to so much of information. With one click, we can be on another tab on with another store buying something else, and the loyalties of consumers are constantly shifting from one brand to another. It's extremely turbulent and challenging times. So how do you kind of give order to the complexity in branding? Extremely essential in today's time. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, I think the first step is knowing who you serve.
Hmm.
We know we don't serve. We're not going to serve everybody in America. We
Right.
have a we have a product that is people that are looking for an organic material
Hmm.
product, one that's sustainable and eco-friendly.
Uh-huh.
That narrows the playing field.
Hmm.
Not that we can't serve somebody that just wants a rug that feels good on their feet or bed sheets that are really soft and feel silk-like but are cotton. We
Hmm.
can serve them too.
Right.
But for us to be successful, we need to speak to the people that are looking for a product like ours.
Hmm.
And so I think when that we talked about it before, everything we do on social,
Hmm.
whether it's they're mainly display ads targeted by my interests and previous behaviors,
Mm-hmm.
the videos that we produce, the photography we produce,
Uh-huh.
all of that, just every touch point reminds people that you're there.
Mm-hmm.
We send out 3, 4 emails a week. Why?
Mm-hmm.
It's to be front and center, have that presence.
Yeah.
Because someone might be deleting that email from the inbox today,
Mm-hmm.
but on Friday they wake up and realize they need more bath towels,
Yeah.
and they get the right email at the right time. They're going to
Mm-hmm.
buy our bath towels
Mm-hmm.
because they know the brand, they trust the brand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Let me go a step further, and I think this is a great bit of information for the audience. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, Google has a really great product called
Mm-hmm.
Google Maps.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're able to take our customer base and take people that are on our list, and we can actually do paid ads
Mm-hmm.
just targeting people that already know us.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that? They already know you. Well, it's to be front and center. It's to
Right.
remind them about our brand.
Yeah.
But to take it a step further, when you have, the list we have, if someone searches for bath towels,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'm willing to pay more money for
Yeah.
that person that's already on my list, because when
Yeah.
they see our name,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to ring the bell that, oh, I've already been to Grund. I trust them. I have their rugs,
Yeah.
and so I'll spend more.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's techniques like that
Mm-hmm.
that allow you to be very targeted, but
Mm-hmm.
still brand built. Um,
Wow.
they're looking for couches, right? I have a
Mm-hmm.
throw blanket. So if
Yeah.
you're looking for a couch, I might want to run an ad for a
Mm-hmm.
throw blanket
Yeah.
to a previous customer,
Mm-hmm.
just to remind them that we're here.
Wow, excellent. Yeah, that's a great thought, and I think so. You're doing it already, and I think that's the approach it should be, because ultimately, uh, paid ads, I think the cost is definitely rising because everyone is trying to kind of compete for the same keywords, and I think, but over a period of time, definitely you need to think about how your customer acquisition costs can be taken or can be reduced, so that can definitely help you in improving your profitability and bottom line. Great. And
And
how do you, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and there's a reason. If you look at a few people in our space,
Mm-hmm.
you look at Bowl and Branch, you look at not Brooklyn and Parachute.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, Bowl and Branch took on $100 million investment about a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Parachute, I think, it was 40 million.
Wow.
Um, Casper,
Mm-hmm.
the mattresses, they went public. Well, when they
Yes.
went public, what did everybody find out? Oh, they
Mm-hmm.
did $1 billion in business. No, actually, they did. They valued it 1 billion. They were doing a couple 100 million in business or whatever it was, but they were losing a couple $100 million a year.
Yeah.
Um, but that's the direct to consumer market. It's difficult, and we've taken a different route.
Mm-hmm.
We've decided we don't want outside funding.
Mm-hmm.
We are one step at a time. We're going to grow slower,
Yeah.
but we're going to grow what we feel is the right way for us,
Mm.
and it's going to take longer to get there.
Yeah.
But we think when we get there, and we all still have it, and it's still our messaging, and we're not dictated by the public markets or
Mm.
by investors, we can
Yeah.
better serve the customer.
That's excellent. And that's a great strategy, I must say, because it's like you're building your brand one day at a time and taking that long-term horizon, and so that you can achieve that vision that you have. Because ultimately, when you have a lot of marketing spend, definitely you are able to grab that early awareness, but that does not result into the conversions that we are looking for. Ultimately, the brand building efforts are to be done in that direction where when the consumer is actually going to make a purchase, your brand name should be there at the back of their mind subconsciously. And that's when most conversions happen, because ultimately no customer out there has any relationship with a brand. It's only through that presence of the brand in front of their, like a name or a tagline or the product image that they have seen somewhere. And that recall, if that happens, if that marketing message is extremely strong, then only we can expect conversion. So I think it's a great approach. I really like this. And in terms of growth, so uh, growth again, what are some of the definitely you're doing paid ads, all the marketing strategies are in place. But how, as a digital marketer and a leader in this field, what are some of the unique things that you mentioned? One of the things that you are targeting only those people that already have intent of buying. You already talked about it. But what are some of the other growth hacks that you as a digital marketing leader have done and is helping your brand?
Yeah, we so one of the things we did in last October. So our company has traditionally used a 3PL.
Uh-huh.
So we had an outside shipping company that we warehoused all our product. They shipped them out for us.
Mm-hmm.
So we made the decision in October to bring that all in house.
Uh-huh.
So we have our offices and warehouse all in one location. And
Mm-hmm.
what that's allowed us to do is better control the customer experience.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, if somebody orders something at 4 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
we actually can get it out that same day because it's our customer and we want
Right.
to take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't happening before.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, one of the things that is becoming bigger and bigger is third party marketplaces.
Right.
For example, if you go to Macy's, Bed Bath and Beyond, Overstock, Lowe's, all these other e-commerce websites, you
Mm-hmm.
can buy a Grund product,
Mm-hmm.
and we drop ship it from here.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're seeing other specialized or specialized retailers doing the same thing. They're
Mm-hmm.
bringing in third-party brands. We think
Uh-huh.
that's an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
They have a customer base.
Mm-hmm.
They they don't have the product we offer, and
Mm-hmm.
we feel like we can go in and offer a wonderful product at an affordable luxury price point,
Mm-hmm.
and we just fulfill on our end. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't think we know most companies aren't doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Usually, direct to consumer companies are going all in on that one channel.
Mm-hmm.
We made the decision to have partners
Uh-huh.
and to really use their customer base with our great product,
Mm-hmm.
and now we can fulfill it ourselves. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't think I answered your question, but what our having our own warehouse has done is allow us to be more competitive
Yeah.
in offering same day shipping,
Mm-hmm.
much better process on the returns, because
Mm-hmm.
direct to consumer,
Yeah.
there's returns whether you like it or not.
Yes.
um, the other day, my daughter, she ordered two pair of pants and she was going to send one back. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, no, because
Yeah.
when people do that to us, it's
It's a
frustrating,
true.
but it's the way the world is today. And you just need to um, build your business the best way given the constraints or the challenges of the consumer market.
Wow. Yeah, I mean that's very true what you mentioned, like returns. And again, I think direct to consumers has its own set of challenges, but that's what it is. Ultimately, the consumer is the king, and I think the small change that you did that you managed to get all the inventory and warehousing and then same day delivery again, that's going to delight the consumer. So ultimately when you say to the consumer that okay, your shipment will be delivered, let's say on this particular date, and you're able to deliver, let's say 2 days in advance, consumers feel happy about it. And I think consumers are looking for that experience at all the stages ultimately. And if a brand is consistently able to do that, we don't even have to ask the consumers to make their purchase next time. They will make sure that they'll buy definitely from you again because they know this is going to be the experience. So
That's right.
amazing. So Eric, my next question is: apart from your own store, do you also sell on marketplaces? And how is the distribution in terms of sales on
Yeah.
marketplaces versus D2C, your store?
Yeah. We're probably about 20% other marketplaces right
Oh,
now,
okay.
not including in-store retail,
Hmm.
which is probably another 15%. So 65% or so of our sales are on our own website.
Okay.
But you always want those other channels.
Hmm.
You always want to kind of hedge your bets a little bit, and and they buy from, for example, Macy's. I
Mm-hmm.
know customers buy from us from Macy's the
Mm.
first go around,
Yeah.
but then they buy from us the second and third time. So
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense for us to be in those other locations.
Okay, wonderful. So that's a good distribution. So definitely you have a good amount of presence across channels, and ultimately having that presence on a marketplace has its own set of advantages. So that's amazing. Uh, my next question is very different. I mean, and I wanted to know your thoughts on it. Like, you have your product line set, you have your products, but has there been any feedback or some kind of experience that the consumers have shared with you, let's say over an email, that, oh, they went to your store and they're looking for, you already have these kind of product, but we are looking for these kind of products that you don't have. And any experiences, any story around that?
Yeah, I think for us, bed sheets is one area where we have a very limited type of product. We
Mm-hmm.
have we have 100% cotton sheets. They're sateen, so they're this kind of crisp and they're very cooling in the summer, but
Mm-hmm.
not everybody prefers that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's an area where we actually want to expand our options.
Uh-huh.
Think in the winter and having flannel sheets, for
Mm-hmm.
example. So actually right over to my right, I have some sheets that are silk, that are flannel, that are tencel, different types of blends. We've
Mm-hmm.
looked into cotton hemp blend actually. So we're considering different things
Mm-hmm.
to bring to our customer base. Because
Okay.
but that's probably the big one is bed sheets. That's so important for people. Once you've had a good set of bed sheets,
Mm-hmm.
um, you don't go back, and then you want
Yeah,
you want options for different seasons. So
that's true.
that is an area we're trying to improve.
That's amazing, and I think as a brand, consumers are going to kind of convey the right things about your product when they experience it. I think those consumers become your brand ambassadors, and they talk about it. And I think the more that happens, again, ultimately the customer acquisition cost goes down because those ambassadors talk to their peers, talk to their network, and that's how you get that marketing that is extremely relevant in today's time. So the more that
Yeah,
happens,
yeah.
that's amazing. Uh,
We didn't even talk about influencers and affiliates, but
yeah.
absolutely, that's an area where I don't think we've done a good job.
Hmm.
I'm honestly, I think we do good with, and areas where I think we can improve. And the influencer affiliate market, I think, has a lot of room to grow for us.
True.
And that is something I think that um, you know it will be for 2021 is going to be an important place for us to
Hmm.
play.
Excellent. Uh, Eric, my next question is around consumer behavior. And as a D2C brand, you built your store and then you start getting that data points. And but you have a lot of data that you have. But how do you understand the consumer behavior in terms of the interval between two consecutive purchases, or what is the definitely average order value, everything? There are several data points, but how do you define who are your VIP customers, or how do you understand which are the set of customers that you have acquired over the years through your marketing efforts, but you are on the verge of losing, or which you can call it as at-risk consumers? How do you do that currently?
Yeah, so that's a challenge. You know, Google Analytics has enterprise product for about 150,000 a year,
Hmm.
but we're not there.
Yeah.
Most DTCs aren't. So it is all your data is in a different place. We've used the Facebook Analytics.
Hmm.
It's going out of they're closing that down here at some point. But so Google Analytics for us is a place where we do a lot of our research and we follow that customer journey. We
Hmm.
use Shopify.
Uh-huh.
Shopify does actually a decent job if you're willing to take the time and look
Hmm.
at the direct path from a first visit to the site to a purchase.
Yeah.
I think the data there sometimes is as important as the general numbers you can get from funnels.
Hmm.
I know from a fact that if I look at my Google ad numbers,
Hmm.
what Google ad tells me my return is, if I
Hmm.
go in and look at the direct path that a visitor took,
Yeah.
multiple paths,
Hmm.
Google ads the first time and then email, direct visit, and then buy.
Yeah.
Google ads isn't, they're not getting credit for that initial driving the visitor to the website.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we go back and look at every sale,
Hmm.
and I can tell you whatever Google Ads says my return on spend is,
Yeah.
it's 3x that.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
and that's
Yeah.
why we invest right now is so much in Google Ads on the front end,
Hmm.
because we know even if they don't buy in that first visit from Google Ads,
Yeah.
there's a we convert a pretty good percentage after they get the email, after we do the remarketing on Facebook,
Hmm.
uh, after they learn a little bit about our brand story.
Excellent, excellent. That's a great input that you shared there. That looking into the data, learning about the consumer journey, and understanding where the drops are happening. Because even we over the years have analyzed a lot of data points and realized that, like abandoned carts, for example, it's a big revenue generator. I mean, even if 5% of cart recovery can happen somehow, that's a great boost to the revenue, or a marginal improvement and let's say the average order value can have again a significant impact on the profits uh, by decreasing the duration between two consecutive purchases. Again, can have a amazing impact, or probably knowing about the consumer's lifetime value, an individual level consumer lifetime value, or how it can have a very important uh, advantage, because if you know the lifetime value of a particular customer, and not just at a individual customer level but at a segment level, or for that matter at a store level, you can actually make all those projections in terms of where you need to spend your marketing dollars, or on which cohort or segment you need to pay special attention to. And I think by taking that data driven approach, a lot of things can be improved. A 10%, 20% improvement is very significant over the years.
Oh,
uh,
absolutely.
Wonderful. uh, Now that we have talked about consumers, brand building, and marketing strategy, my next set of question is around basically product. And I think like how many SKUs do you have like on your D2C site, like, or different categories?
Yeah, we around 160.
160. Oh, that's significant. Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Because when you have those many different number of products, and how do you like, definitely you may be paying a lot of attention to your Google Analytics. Have you seen any kind of important trend in terms of the bounce rate, or in terms of the average session time, whenever you make any changes to the home page or the product page? Have you seen some kind of trend
Sure.
whether?
Yeah, we look for those type of things. To the point of, you know, we know if we can increase our conversion
Mhm.
rate on visitors 1%, right? If
Uh-huh.
we can change, for example, if our conversion rate was on a sale was 3%, if we
Hmm.
can move that to 4%, that
Yeah,
changes everything.
sure.
You know, if we get one more visitor out of 100 to buy,
Hmm.
um, that it just changes our business in so many ways from a positive standpoint,
Hmm. Wonderful.
because of our margins, because of, you know, the ad spends and
Hmm.
everything else. So yeah, so we're consistently making tweaks and A/B testing, and change, different hero shots. Right now, we're actually revamping our product pages based on some earlier tests
Wow.
that we're going to roll out across our whole site, um, that we feel is going to make a big difference. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not on your site every day looking at your, not just conversion percentage on the whole site, but page by page, right?
Yeah.
The landing page. If someone lands on this product,
Yeah.
what is the conversion of sales? And if you're not doing that, you're missing the mark, because you don't know your numbers.
That's amazing. Yeah, absolutely. You nailed that. And I must say, because these are some of the all those amazing little attention to those details that often get overlooked. And because in the grand scheme of things, these are some of the a slight improvement of the button's color or the arrow, or let's say the page load time, or the transition from a home page to a product page, or a quick add to cart, how that can make us easy for consumers ultimately, because from the
Yeah.
from the intent to the conversion, that journey has to be the quickest. And I think you're doing it.
Look at it this way. This is what the viewers will understand.
Yeah,
If if you have 1,000 visitors to your website every day,
yeah,
and your average sale will make it easy. Your average sale is $100.
yeah,
Well, if you improve your conversion percentage 1 point up from that 3 to 4% or whatever it is, that's 10 extra sales a day
true. Yeah,
times 100. That's $1,000 extra per day,
yeah,
and 30,000 per month. It's a little bit over $350,000 per year
absolutely
by getting one person out of 100
true.
to buy. So that's
Absolutely.
that's what we're trying to do. We're
Excellent.
just always trying to get one more person out of 100 to buy.
That's amazing. I mean, I'm so happy that we talked about all these things which are extremely essential in the retail space, especially in the online space, because when a visitor comes to your store, you really don't know who he is. It's just a matter of those first few seconds define whether they are going to stay for the next 10. Those 10 define whether they're going to go to the product page, and how they're consuming the information. And that one little image, that one little video of 3 second or 10 seconds, how that can have an impact on the convergence. And I think those attention to detail can definitely help. I think what you're doing is excellent, I must say. And as we are coming to an end, Eric, we would love to know, like, what is that one piece of advice that you would like to give to, let's say, somebody who is already running an e-commerce business, or somebody who wants to launch an e-commerce business, and from your own practical experiences that they can adapt and kind of apply within their business that can help them. What
Yeah,
advice would you
I
like?
think it's this might be a little different tack than you'd expect, but it's know your numbers. What's your product cost? How much does it take to get that product from wherever it was built to your warehouse? What's
Yeah,
your shipping cost? And you need to price things based on that, because if you're not pricing things based on having your a margin, a profit margin in there, you're not going to be in business forever. It's so that's what I would say. So many businesses that I've worked with before this, it became pricing. It became having the right price points that, one, fit the consumer market, but two, allow you to be profitable. And if you do that to start, it makes it a lot easier
hmm,
to stay in business a lot longer, so you have time to figure out everything else. Because there's a lot to it, and you're not going to figure it all out in the first day or the first month or the first year.
yeah,
And all we can do is continue to get better.
hmm,
Learn your customer, be honest, do and take care of them,
yeah.
and continue to improve your product or give your customers. If you do that, I think you have a shot.
Wow, excellent, excellent. I mean, I must say this has been an excellent conversation with you, Eric, today. And some of the things that you touched upon really are amazing in terms of the way the entire online world is shaping up now that we are living in one of those times where digital is the future, and digital is evolving every day, whether it's augmented reality, virtual reality. Things are constantly evolving. Consumers are becoming more uh, you kind of tech centric. They are more tech savvy these days. They are able to access information about your brand, about your product from so many different channels. And as a brand custodian, how you can help your consumers to make sure that they get the best product, and some of the strategies or some of the points that you touched in the beginning in terms of marketing spend, or where to spend, or how to do targeted advertising in order to make sure that you are engaging with the right kind of audience, and ultimately amidst the competition that you have, and how you are paying attention to details. I think all those points are amazing. I think You touched the entire marketing and strategy piece so well in such a short duration that whomsoever get a chance to listen to this interview of yours, so will it's basically, and if they're even able to apply, let's say 10 to 20% of what you just mentioned, wow, they definitely can have a amazing growth for their brand. With
Hear that.
this,
Thank you.
Amazing, Eric. I'm really grateful to you. And on behalf of my team at Analito, I would like to take this opportunity to once again say thank you so much for taking out time today and then kind of sharing and kind of opening up and talking about you, about your brand and the amazing milestones that you would like to achieve and the sustainable initiatives that you are already undertaking. Wow, sky's the limit, and more power to you, and kudos to your team who have been helping you to take your brand to the next level. Thank you so much once again, and I'll
Thank you.
catch up with you soon. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye bye. Yeah.